There's another question. Can there be a phase of constant returns to a factor as some authors mention it? Mr. Agarwal, would you like to answer this query, please? Can there be a phase of constant returns to a factor as some authors mention it?
See, technically, there can be a constant returns to a factor. But even in dealing with a topic, there are certain conventions which are followed. The convention is normally to talk about only actually two phases: increasing returns to a factor and then diminishing returns to a factor. But if you see it mathematically, in between there must be a phase which may be a very small phase, where there can be constant returns to a factor. The implication is clear: if a student doesn't write constant returns to a factor, he or she is not going to be punished for that. It's not required. The convention is to just mention two phases: one, increasing returns to a factor; second, diminishing returns to a factor. And remember, the second phase is once again divided into two parts: diminishing returns to a factor but MP positive, and then third phase, diminishing returns to a factor but MP negative.
Right. Thank you, sir. There's one more question from the topic money and banking, and the teacher would like to know: the textbook does not incorporate the details of commercial banking. Does it mean the details are not a part of the syllabus?
Yes, the functions of commercial banking are no longer a part of the syllabus.
Right.
What is a part of the syllabus is only money creation by commercial banks.
Okay.
But here, sir, I think we should add the money creation as per the CBSE supplementary reading material.
Yeah, you must.
Not as per the NCERT textbook, because that is a little too advanced for our children, and therefore CBSE has reduced at a level which our children can understand. So I would request you to read the supplementary material.
The implication is clear. Whatever topics are mentioned in the supplementary reading materials, even if they are in the NCERT textbook, they may be given a second place, and the first place should be given
to the
CBSE because since it is a supplementary reading material, there must have been something in mind that probably the contents of the NCERT syllabus are not sufficient enough to explain that topic.
That is why this
or too advanced
material has been
or too advanced for the students to understand.
Right, sir. So dear teachers, I hope that you all have downloaded the supplementary material and you are using it with your learners. Dr. Agarwal, there is another question regarding syllabus only. The textbook does, this is from determination of income. The teacher wants to know: the textbook does not discuss the concept of excess demand and supply and related corrective measures. Are they a part of syllabus?
Yes, they are the part of the syllabus, and they are the part of the syllabus not recently but for so many years.
Right, so there's another question from this topic: if employment to be taken as the employment of all the factors or of the labor factor only?
In fact, both are correct. We need not go into the details. It's better to use the word full employment only, but normally it may not be possible to ensure full employment of all the factors in any economy. So normally when full employment is talked about, normally we take the full employment of labor only. But this is irrelevant for class 12 because such a question may not be there. The word full employment is enough. And normally it is now taken as full employment of labor.
Right, sir. From DAV Public School Sector 14 Gurgaon, we have received queries through fax. The teachers would like to know: in board paper of 2010, where I evaluated a question for 3 marks, explain the relationship between price and quantity demanded of a commodity. Expected answer was reason for law of demand.
What is the question?
Another question, 6 marks, same paper: explain the law of variable proportions using schedule. Expected answer was 3 phases. Their explanation along with the schedule was expected. expected answer. For a student, how to decide whether to give the reason or law for the word explain? When there is this word explain, this action word explain, what is expected of the child?
Very clearly the cause behind it.
Please.
See,
Yeah.
when you look at the question paper, most of the questions start with these words: state, give, mention, explain. When the words like state, give, and mention come, there you have simply to give the main points of that topic. For example, in case of law variable proportion, state the different phases of the law of variable proportion. Then you just mention the three phases: TP rising at increasing rate, then at decreasing rate, then falling. But when the word explain comes, you have to state as well as give reason. Why is TP rising at increasing rate? Why is TP rising at decreasing rate? And why TP is falling? In all the questions, whenever the word explain comes, you have to explain. Normally in practice, if you are talking to somebody and somebody gives you a statement, I'm doing this, you normally say, okay, I'm not able to understand, but please explain further. So explaining further means why is this thing happening? Sometimes in papers it is clearly mentioned give reason, because there was a chance that students may misinterpret it and they may simply state the answer rather than explain the answer. So remember, when the word explain comes, you have to mention the reason also or some more details about that particular answer.
Actually, the word explain itself, it requires details.
Yes, it requires the rationale behind that particular concept. So you need to be able to tell the examiner why is the law of variable proportion, why is it coming into existence, or the first question about law of demand. It's not just about stating the law of demand. Tells you why does it arise. So it's not all about just saying that there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded and you show it through a diagram or show it through a schedule. But why is it that when price falls or rises, that the quantity demanded should fall? So that rationale has to be explained. That's the meaning of the word explain in that.
Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti